Labour's annual conference is set to offer up a moment of rare opportunity as well as grave danger for Sir Keir Starmer. The 4-day meeting in Brighton will provide a chance for Her Majesty's opposition to enjoy the political limelight, away from the government-dominated agenda of the Commons. This affords Starmer a much-needed chance to outline the party's future direction, but he's also at risk of the ongoing war with the left of the party overshadowing the whole event. The leader's speech on the closing day will be the first in-person conference keynote address that Starmer has given since he took the party reins in April 2020, due to the pandemic. It will therefore be an important moment for him to set out his vision for Labour, and pressure is indeed mounting on him to explain what Starmer's Labour stands for.
Labour is coming home.
The question has become more profound in light of the Tories becoming a high-spend, high-tax party,
I'm Rishi.
occupying a space traditionally claimed by Labour. There's also growing clamour from some quarters of the party for Starmer to spell out some core concrete policies, as well as broader principles. Attacking the government's plans on a range of issues is all very well, say critics, but Labour needs to offer its own credible alternatives too. Boris Johnson's recent announcement of a national insurance hike to fund the NHS and social care reform is a case in point. Starmer hit out against the tax rise and accused the PM of having no viable plan for care reform.
Now they're telling millions of working people that they must cough up more tax.
But has offered no rival funding blueprint or reform package.
Well, thanks everyone for coming out.
It's a fundamental rule of politics, as well as physics, that if you leave a vacuum, it will be filled. Starmer's under growing pressure on that front from Andy Burnham, who as Greater Manchester Mayor has become an opposition figurehead during the pandemic through challenging the government over COVID policy. Burnham has become increasingly emboldened and in recent weeks has upstaged Starmer by setting out his own policies on funding the NHS and social care reform. It's notable that Burnham hasn't been offered his own headline slot for a major speech at conference. Starmer's deputy leader, Angela Rayner, also boasts her own rival power base within the party, and she's not been shy about flexing her muscles in the past year.
The more titles he feeds her, Mr. Speaker, the hungrier I fear she is likely to become.
Observers will be keeping a hawkish eye out for the smallest chink of division between the pair. The left also threatened to cause major problems for Starmer in Brighton, including over the appointment of the party General Secretary, David Blair. It's a row that's set to dominate the first day of the conference, as Corbyn supporters mount a bid to block his appointment, on account of his past links to New Labour, his ban on certain local party motions, and his suspension of Jeremy Corbyn himself. Strict new party procedures to deal with anti-Semitism will be put to a vote during the conference, which is yet another area that could provoke embarrassment for Starmer if dissent arises from elements of the left. Corbynites are also hosting an unofficial festival on the fringes of the conference that is likely to stir up controversy, with a threat of socialist firebrands using the platform to attack Labour from the left. Starmer's challenge is to shift attention away from these noisy dissenters and instead to focus a spotlight on his low-profile shadow cabinet. New party leaders have only a small window in which to frame their leadership and make that all-important first impression on the public. Starmer's has arguably closed, leaving growing questions about the electorate's confidence in him. About a year ago, around 60% of voters thought he was the right man to lead Labour, while 10% thought he should let someone else take the reins. Now, more think he should step aside than remain, according to the YouGov tracker. Labour has enjoyed better news in recent weeks, however, gaining a poll lead over the Tories for the first time since January, according to the pollster. Starmer's task at conference is to press home this advantage while navigating a path between his rivals and enemies within the party's ranks.